Jan Carlson wrote a fascinating book called Moments of Truth on how to maintain the trust in your brand through the many changing touch points the company has with the consumer. Today, we look at what happens when we get it wrong and the damage it does to our brand. Welcome back to year 4 of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, which we release every Monday. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, and two-time best-selling author, Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. We are bringing the show to you from our studio in our High Performance Center in Akasaka in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? We are looking at giving you a big edge in business in Japan. Let's all be at the forefront, at the cutting edge of how to flourish here in this market. This is episode number 179, how to scuttle your brand. So to do it, you get my show. So let's get going. You really appreciate the importance of brand when you see it being trashed. Companies spend millions over decades constructing the right brand image with clients. Brands are there to decrease the buyer's sense of risk. A brand carries a promise of consistent service at a certain level. Now, that level can be set very low, like some low-cost airlines where cheap and cheerful is the brand promise. Another little gem from some industries is all care and no responsibility. At the opposite end are the major hotel chains. They have global footprints and they want clients to use them wherever they are in the world. They want to be trusted that they can deliver the same level of high quality service wherever. There are plenty of competitors around, so the pressure is on to protect the brand. When you encounter a trusted brand trash their brand promise, it makes you sit up and take notice. The plane from Haneda to Taipei was delayed because of weather conditions. We sat on the tarmac for 60 minutes waiting to take off. So when I finally arrived at Taipei Westin Hotel about 6 p.m, at the check-in, I was told there were no rooms ready. Okay, that set off a warning buzzer in my head because the checkout time for the hotel is 12 noon. Things happen though, so maybe there is some reason for this lack of expected service, but doubt has begun to arise in my mind about this hotel's management team. I asked when a room will become available. The second buzzer goes off immediately when the young lady checking me in tells me she doesn't know. How could they not know that information? When there is a lobby full of punters like me, all frustrated about not having their room available. My immediate thought is that this hotel is obviously not being run very well. I ask her for the name of the general manager. This is where it gets very interesting. Her response, stone cold motherless silence. Not one word of reply, nothing. Now we've identified there is a serious training and leadership issue with the way this hotel is being run. I'm the client, speaking to the staff member and waiting for a reply, but absolutely none is forthcoming. Unthinkable. So I ask again. More total silence. I turned up the volume on the request to elicit a response. More pure silence. This low level of clients' responses now morphed into the ridiculous zone. I keep going, and I finally get an inaudible name offered up. I ask to hear it again, but louder, because I can't catch it. We go through this slapstick 3 times until we can now identify the name Andrew. Great. So what's Andrew's last name? More pure silence. Now we are back to where we started. The client is asking the staff for information and cooperation, and they are not getting either. I repeat this process a few more times, digging for the surname, and we finally get a whispered Zoe. Andrew Zoe, oh, finally. So what am I thinking now? Wow, this Andrew Zoe character is a lousy general manager because his staff are so poorly trained. Find out more when we come back from the break. If you want to be successful as a leader, do the Leadership Training for Managers course. All companies need people who can both manage and lead. Leading people screams out for real skills in communication, dealing with all different types of people, being excellent at innovation, planning, delegation, handling mistakes, doing performance reviews really well, and inspiring and motivating the team. Do the Leadership Training for Managers course now in either Japanese or English. Are you doing business with Japan? Do you really know how things work? Japan Business Mastery provides the answers. Do you have the right networks and know how to create them? Do you know how to get on the same wavelength with Japanese buyers? Do you know what being trustworthy looks like from the Japanese perspective? Japan Business Mastery is based on more than 30 years' experience in Japan and will become your go-to guide. Want to succeed in Japan? Buy Japan Business Mastery now. Welcome back. There's no room ready for me and no indication of when it will be ready. So in that great Aussie tradition, I head for the bar. I tell them that I'm going to be in the bar, and when my room is ready, please let me know. Did they contact me as promised? No. I asked the barman to go find out what is the status of my room. Another brand promise destroyed right there. A full 2 hours later, after waiting in the bar, I am in my room. Now, while I was waiting in the bar, I went onto the Westin site to try and find their headquarters to complain about the service here in Taipei. I had a lot of trouble finding who to contact, but did manage to send an email into the system. An answer came back the next day, helpfully, telling me I should talk to the staff in the hotel about the service. While in the bar, I rang the hotel switchboard and asked to speak with Andrew Zoe. He had gone home already. How about the duty manager? He was busy and will call me back on my cell phone. I never did get that call back from Andrew Zoe or the duty manager. I did get a note from the person in charge of rooms and an email from the duty manager the next day. Was I satisfied? No. I want to hear from the general manager. Any number of things can go wrong with the delivery of a product or service. We all understand that. The problems arise when our client-facing team members are not properly trained in how to deal with these issues. Hotels have guest complaints all the time, so they should be absolute gold medal winning total geniuses at dealing with them. This would have to be a key area of training in that industry. The poor training is a direct result of poor leadership. If the leaders are working well, then the staff service levels will be working well. That evening, there were a large number of guests in the same boat as I was. No room and no information. The Westin brand is global, and I have stayed in a number of their properties in Asia. The Taipei property was killing their global brand, and that is an expensive thing in the world of cutthroat competition amongst leading hotels. From this experience, I realized that I need to be very vigilant about the service levels of my own company. Are we fully geared up for trouble, should it arise? How do we protect the brand across 220 locations worldwide? Can people get to me easily if there is a problem? Are we doing enough training in client complaint handling? The Westin Taipei leadership did a poor job. We should go back and take a long, hard look at our own operations. We may be incorrectly assuming things are working when they may not be functioning properly. We have to protect the brand at every touch point with the clients. That is the job of the leadership team, starting with the boss. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and so please subscribe on YouTube. Share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Become a regular. Our website details are on screen now, enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. It's awesome value, so please check it out. We try to offer as much value as possible, so you might also enjoy our other shows. In fact, we are releasing content 6 days a week. For podcasts, Mondays for the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, Tuesday for the Presentations Japan series, and every second Tuesday for the Business Touches in Nooshier show, Wednesdays for the Sales Japan series, Thursdays for the Leadership Japan series, every second Thursday for the Business Pro Podcasto show, Fridays for the Japan Business Mastery show, and Saturdays for Japan's top business interviews, wherever you get your podcast. Also, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television show. Every Friday, the Japan Business Mastery show, and every Saturday, Japan's top business interviews on YouTube. We appreciate your support. Please let others know about it so they can benefit too. We want to make a contribution to helping people build their careers and businesses, and please join us in that endeavor. In episode 180, we talk about straight talk means trouble aplenty in Japan. So, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Please join me for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you. We've only got one direction in mind for you and your business, and that is up.